What's going on, guys? It's your boy, DBGTX-YT, and we're back with the conclusion of the epic sparring battle that took place in episode 5 of Dragon Ball GT Retail. I once again thank you all for the patience as I recover from a health-related issue that has impeded me from being able to record or talk for an extensive amount of time. I am pleased to say that I am back, and we will turn the jets on full throttle to continue this amazing journey of what is to be the best remake of this series thus far. With that being stated, make sure to continue sharing your energy by sharing, sub, and continuing liking the Dragon Ball Retail series so that the algorithm doesn't kick it off course and we get more fellow Dragon Ball fans. And without further ado, the review. Previously, on the last episode of Dragon Ball GT Retail, the battle between Goku and Vegeta began with an amazing showcase of well-known and not-so-known techniques. Even though Goku is in a smaller body, his fighting experience has allowed him to avoid most, if not all, of Vegeta's bone-crushing attacks. Nonetheless, with said body comes limitations, and that is that he can no longer go Super Saiyan as well. With another handicap handed to our hero, the fight turns on its maximum volume when Vegeta decides to showcase his new technique called the Shining Fists. What is the secret to Vegeta's new technique, and why is he brimming with confidence that it could take down a Super Saiyan 3? Find out now on Dragon Ball. An unexpected launch. The Unlikely Trio. Whoa. What happened? Says a groggy Goku looking up at the ceiling, bathed in a bucket of fresh water as Trunks, Gohan, and Bulma looked over him. Vegeta's what happened. It was so fast we had to use the cosmic replay to even see what transpired, says Gohan, overjoyed that Goku has woken up. How long have I been out? Yells out Goku as he has no choice but to lay back down. Here, watch, says Bulma as she holds the Capsule Corp S20 tablet over the little guy's face. What? 3 seconds? Ow! Oh, I feel like I've been skewered. Bulma, I really couldn't see anything. You mind slowing it down? Says Goku, groaning in pain. Oh, sorry. Forgot to hit the slow down button. Now we focus on the screen to everyone's attention. Both warriors are powered up. Ki waves clashing, causing the area to quake under their might. You ready, Vegeta? Sweat beads dripping from his chin, states Goku, knowing he stands no chance against the Saiyan Prince in his current form. It'll be all over in an instant. I promise you that, Kakarot. Goku appears in front of Vegeta and makes a mighty swing at the off-guard Saiyan. His punch goes through what seems to be an afterimage, and in that moment, a terrified look crosses Goku's face as he sees his rival standing right next to him. Vegeta uses one of his fingers and taps Goku sideways on the shoulder, immediately making his arm go limp and forcing his body to face Vegeta. And in that very instant, 3 blows were landed on the little guy. 1 to the solar plexus, 1 to the chin, and the final 1 to the temple. They looked like simple taps on screen, but Goku understood. His bones understood. His ki understood. His will understood. Vegeta may have surpassed him truly. He held back so much. He simply used his knuckles and it felt like a cannonball tore through my limbs. I thought I lost my head had I not been here talking right now. Ow. Hey, Vegeta. You were right. Vegeta, who has stood silently in the same corner he was when Goku first entered the lab, now walks up to him and states, "Remember the pain, Kakarot. It truly has been a long time since I've been number one, and my intent is to keep it that way. The sooner you recover these balls, the sooner I can prove to you that this wasn't because of a handy." No, it truly wasn't. Super Saiyan 3 or no Super Saiyan 3, your technique is much more than meets the eye. Each successive hit not only felt like I accumulated damage, but it felt like my energy was being robbed from me, says Goku as he sits back up, assessing his now bruised solar plexus. "I expanded your ki channels with each hit and caused them to leak your stored energy pool, thus causing organ nerve failure internally while still causing external damage. Not only that, but my fists acts as a conduit, so any ki that is leaked out is immediately transferred to my own energy pool. So while you'll get weaker from each punch, I'll get stronger. Block, touch, parry. Anytime we clash our fists, you will gradually lose bits of your precious Super Saiyan 3 energy until the field is evened out, Kakarot," says Vegeta with a smirk on his face. "Yeah, that means I just don't have to get touched by you, huh?" With a slight irritated look on his face, Vegeta snickers back. "You truly do say the most impossible things, huh?" And as he turns his back to walk out of the lab, he states, 3 days. For what? That's how long it will take to reopen your channels. Wait, you mean I really can't move for 3 days? Says a shocked Goku as he tries to pull himself up, managing to get on his feet. Gohan, can you manage to go to Korin and get some senzu beans? It won't work. This is deeper than the senzus. I will know. I perfected the technique by testing it on myself. Your physical body will be fine, but your ki control will not. That's the reason for the recent reconstruction on the left side of the home, states Bulma. He attempted to push past his channels and boom! I thought he was dead! Oh, give me a break, honey, says Vegeta as he walks into the halls of Capsule Corp. Well, let's get you a bed so you can rest, Dad. This entire spaceship is going to take about a month to build, so we don't have to rush your recovery, states Gohan as he tries to help Goku remain on his feet. Oh man, so I'm just going to have to sit back for 3 days, huh? Can I get food delivered to the room? Clamors Goku. This isn't a luxury hotel, Goku, but you are speaking to the richest woman on the planet, so I will oblige just this once, says Bulma. And then she pulls up to Goku's ear and states, and because as you were passed out, Vegeta asked me to do so. He really was concerned you'd be out for longer than 3 months with how much power gap there was. But you're, well, you. And she busts out laughing, hits a button, and a group of EMS attendants that were waiting at the entrance on call for after the battle comes in, puts Goku in a wheelchair, and carts him to his staying lounge. I think Goku-san took that very well, don't you think, Gohan? Says Trunks. You've totally misread that. This entire time, he's really been thinking how he never noticed Vegeta's progress in these past 10 years. Sure, he himself has gotten stronger. Nonetheless, Vegeta must have really pushed himself to a length that even Dad is shocked. Call it an eye-opener of some sorts. And to not be able to respond to Vegeta at full power must be really eating at him, states Gohan with a matter-of-fact look on his face. Oh, I really never looked at it like that, states Trunks as he walks over to the central computer and reads some of the battle data. From the looks of this battle data comparison, Goku-san was in his base form as strong, More or less to this guy named, I don't think I know this guy. But Dabura? Dabura, huh? Says Gohan. That means Dad's strength currently rivals what was my Super Saiyan 2 in those times. That's still a lot of power for no Super Saiyan. Whoa. What else can this machine tell us? Well, this Super IQ mother computer is connected to all the Capsule Corp databases around the world, says Trunks. It has collectively all the research that has been done for all the warriors worldwide. Power levels, fighting styles, accomplishments, all the data terrains they've used, including analytical weak points and disadvantages. To be honest, it's a little scary how accurate this bad boy is with the data that it outputs, states Trunks as he breaks down the mother computer. Yeah, I get that. But why keep tabs on all the other warriors instead of just the Z warriors? Asks Gohan, slightly confused. Because Mother has used all of that information to build training partners that can withstand Father's gruesome training. Would you like to see? And at that moment, Trunks points towards two pods in the back with a Capsule Corp insignia encrusted in the middle. Gohan takes off his glasses and walks up to the pods slowly. Inside are two humanoid-looking exoskeleton, very Terminator-looking. Whoa, those are androids, says Gohan as he looks back to Trunks' stern face. Yeah, but Mother prefers to call them training dummies. They don't act without being instructed via the mother computer, and they have a time limit of 3 hours that they can be outside of their pods. What's the time limit for? Asks Gohan. To force Father to stop fighting for the day? And they both look at each other for a few seconds, knowing that that's impossible, before bursting out in laughter. And now, we skip ahead 29 days. The Z Warriors have come up with a strategy on how they will tackle the Dragon Ball journey, and they are approximately 2 days away from takeoff. Phew! It truly has been a month since we got to work on this. It's coming out perfect! Yells an ecstatic Trunks, who's on the underside of the spaceship, soldering a few metal panels. Yeah! We got a lot of helping hands on this one. After a few tests and some more simulations, we should be ready for launch at month's end. Well, if you two wouldn't stop chit-chatting so much, we've been done a lot quicker! Yells out Bulma from the cockpit. Now boys, let's finish this up! And both of them yell, Yes, ma'am! And they get back to work at full speed. In the past month, Pan has been unable to talk to Gohan about the conversation he held behind her back. And with the date slowly encroaching, Videl has tightened the to-do list on her so she won't leave home. Now, it is the day before the launch. Have you finished the dishes, Pan? Says Videl. Yes, Mom! Yells out Pan. What about your room, Pan? You've been neglecting it for a week. Yes, Mom! Okay, Pan. Come downstairs so we can have some lunch. Yes, Mom! Yells out Pan from her room once again. This time, Videl notices something was off. Pan? Yes, Mom! Yells out Pan from her room once more. Immediately, Videl dashes across the house to Pan's room to find a plush doll that looks like her sitting at her desk. Why, you're in big trouble, little lady! You hear me? Big trouble! Now the words are playing over Pan's God Watch as she's snickering and flying towards Capsule Corp. Sorry, Mom, but Dad has avoided me long enough, and I'm going on this trip. And she flies off towards West City. About an hour later, as she approaches the outskirts of West City, she sees a figure hovering, waiting for her. Your mother told me what you did. says Gohan in a very stern voice. Dad, I just want to hang out. What's the problem? The problem is I asked you to stay home and you're not listening. Well, maybe if you treat me less like a kid. You are a kid, and I am your father. Now go back home, barks Gohan. But now! And the look given by Gohan cuts the soul of the poor little girl. Shoulder drooped, teary-eyed, she agrees and slowly begins flying away. A tear hits Gohan on the cheek, and in that second, his resolve melts. Pan is flying and wiping her uncontrollable tears when she bumps into something. She looks up and her father's looking down at her. I'm sorry for yelling at you, Pan. What will you let me be? Ah! It's okay. It's gonna be alright. It's alright. I'm not going anywhere. I promise, says Gohan soothingly, thinking that it's because he's going on the trip that she's acting this way. And then he embraces her as she falls asleep in his arms. He now carries her back to Capsule Corp, and as he's flying unaware, she opens up one eye, sticks out her tongue, letting us know it's all a facade. Now we are at Capsule Corp. Everyone is sitting at the round table, finishing up the last layout of the plan and readying themselves. So, the plan is to build a second spaceship and have it go on the opposite course that the first crew will be heading towards. I think if we circle the first few galaxy quadrants around here and follow this as a boomerang, then by the time the second spaceship is built, the first ship should have collected 2 or more Dragon Balls. And we can send the other ship in the opposite course, meeting somewhere around here? Says Bulma as she marks an X on a quadrant in the center of her galaxial map. Now, with a straight face, Gohan inputs, if we manage to get this done accordingly, we can actually cut down our time by almost 2 months, which has been the amount of time we've wasted building these ships. Correct! So tomorrow's launch is super important because the data from it will help us adjust the coordinates we need to create the opposite trip. So let's go ahead and run these tests 10 more times, and we should be great for liftoff tomorrow, exclaims Bulma, hyping up the crew. Meanwhile, in the guest room, Pan is now finally away from prying eyes. Okay, now first let's lower the power level. There. Now, let's get to the launch hall. And she begins sneaking around the corner, watching and sensing everyone's power level, making sure the coast is clear. She dashes, cuts a corner, dashes again, gets to a hallway, and as she's figuring out which way to go, a door opens. She jumps up and holds herself steady against the ceiling as Goten and Carmel, his now girlfriend, come out of the dining hall chit-chatting. As they're passing by the spot where Pan is hovering, Goten stops. He looks up. Is something wrong, Goten? It must have just been my imagination. And they both take a left down the corridor towards the main exit. Pan managed to circle around fast enough to avoid Goten's gaze and dash into the dining hall where they came from. Phew! That was close. Uncle Goten almost had me. Now, just a few more feet, and all I have to do is just sneak in and lay low in the ship, states Pan. And just as she's about to leave, she is met with Vegeta simply staring at her from a table across the dining hall, with a cup in his hand. Kakarot's granddaughter, sneaking around like a rat, eh? Snickers Vegeta. Hi, Vegeta-san. And the name's Pan. Smarts out Pan, now sweating profusely, knowing Vegeta's going to blow the whistle. I don't really care what you're up to. What I do know is, a Saiyan's resolve means everything, and you happen to have Saiyan blood in you. So whatever it is you're doing, you better follow it through, you hear me? And as the words escape his mouth, the leer he gives Pan has her shake with goosebumps. But assertively she replies, I will! Watch me! And she dashes out the door, runs towards the launch hangar, and makes her way inside. Thank you, Vegeta-san, says Pan, enlightened by the fact that Vegeta did not call the others. Now inside, Pan sneaks around a few boxes and is now faced with the spaceship dubbed Lucky 7. She senses Gohan in the other room with Bulma. Trunks is outside of the ship on the rear end, and the other engineers are on break. Lucky her! She dashes straight for the hub. In that moment, Goku, who was walking around the hangar after eating a meal's worth 15 people, noticed someone's foot slipping into the hub. Huh? What was that? And he now begins to walk towards the ship. Trunks, who'd finally finished putting the remaining panels on the uncovered backside of Lucky 7, decides to take a short rest, but not before looking inside the ship to make sure everything was in order. The only thing missing is our food supply for the voyage, and we're set to go. Huh? What the hell? Says Trunks as he spots a piece of orange cloth down the hall of the ship. Goku, now inside the lower deck of the ship, looks around. Weird. I really thought I saw something. Must have been my imagination. Oh! Countdown to launch in T-minus 20 seconds. All of the exits to the ship close immediately. Locked tight, nothing can get in and out. Whoa! What's going on? Stammers Goku. Trunks quickly realizes what's happening, and he rushes to the cockpit to find no other than Pan, pressing every single button there was on the console to make the spaceship launch. Come on! Launch! Or Dad is going to kill me! Yells out Pan. Outside of the ship, everyone is gathered. T-minus 10 seconds. Who pressed the launch sequence? Yells Gohan. And in that moment, he looked at the cockpit and his heart sinks. No, 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 Pan! He yells as he flies towards the cockpit window. Open the hatch right now! Gohan yells as he begins charging up an energy wave to blow the roof of the spaceship off. Gohan! If you do that, it'll take us 2 more months just to launch one ship! Yells out Bulma. But Pan! Trunks! Do something! He yells at Trunks from the outside. I'm trying, but she locked the controls when she pressed all the buttons together. In order to stop it, we'll have to launch, which will set us on course to T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the propulsion system kicks in, blowing away the helpless father as the spaceship disentangles from all the wiring and now zooms into the farthest reaches of space, in an instant becoming but a mere star in the distance. And that, my friend, concludes this episode of Dragon Ball GT Retail. Thank you for watching, thank you for support, and thank you for sharing your energy. And we will see you here next week with the aftermath of this launch and what happens next to our unlikely trio. DVGTX, over and out.